Yep, it's Coach DP here to help you out today. Today, I'm sharing 3 steps to building a team chemistry that helps you to not only compete, but to win games and win championships. Listen, I've coached at a lot of different places, and we all know as coaches, right? Like team chemistry is something that we can overlook sometime until we realize that our team is not playing as a unit, meaning everybody's not doing their job, everybody's not working together, everybody's just not on the same page. And I've been a part of those teams where everybody wasn't on the same page and we didn't win quite as much as we would like to, right? So I'm gonna break down these 3 steps for you. So the first step in building this team chemistry that's going to help you win more games and a championship. Know your personnel, right? When I say know your personnel, I call it KYP. And in this work of KYP and knowing your personnel, there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. I use assessments. I love for my players to take assessments, whether it's with me, whether it's with our leadership coach, with another company we may bring in, but they take a DISC assessment, they take a personality assessment, they take a leadership assessment, they take tons of assessments. And what this does is it gives me back data, right? A lot of times as coaches, we can just look at, our observations and think, okay, I know this player, I know what motivates this player, but sometimes we don't, right? And sometimes what could take you a full season to understand, you can find out in 5 minutes on an assessment. So I highly recommend your players taking some type of assessment that gives you the data and the feedback as a coach. 3 major things that the assessment is going to do for you, right? First of all, it's going to help you understand yourself. The first person that should do the assessment is you as the head coach, as the leader of your team, right? I'm a head coach and I take an assessment and I bring in a leadership coach to work with me and work out the things that I need to improve at. Because how can we ask our team to improve if we're not willing to even find out what we need to get better at, right? So that's the first thing it's going to do is help you to understand yourself as a leader. It's also going to help you to understand others, not just your team, but your staff members, right? Understanding how to communicate with them, how to work with them, what speed do they normally operate at, what's their preferences as an individual. All of that data is going to come from the assessment, right? And then the last thing that I believe that it's going to do for you is help you to be able to motivate, right? And when I say motivate, I mean get more out of the people around you. A lot of times where we have non-negotiables, we have core values, we have a mission, but we can't stop there, right? Like there has to be a little extra notch. Like you got to be able to push people to see the vision and articulate this vision for everybody to understand. And it's very difficult to do that if you don't have data, if you don't have different things that you're looking at to help you to have a well-rounded picture, right? So that's the first step, KYP, know your personnel. All right, now moving into the second step, and I got these things written down in my notes, and I'm gonna put together a PDF. If you want the PDF, you could go ahead and register for that, and you could get the written version as well. Step 2 is live evaluations, okay? Now, I know that I talked about the data point, but you also wanna get those live evaluations, those live observations, just hands-on with your team, right? And this could be one-on-one. Maybe you're doing weekly meetings with your all 15 on your roster or 10 or split it up with your staff members, right? You want to make sure that you're doing those type of meetings in a different type of environment to get a different vibe from the kids. You also want to do those meetings with your staff members as well to get to know them. And it doesn't have to be like this big, like structured thing, right? Maybe it's just you grabbing a coffee or taking a walk. Sometimes I walk around the track with my kids and just talk to them. And a lot of times we have to listen. Remember, this is observations. It's not just for you to keep talking about basketball and keep talking about what role you see them in or what you see them doing. Like this is a time where they can be themselves and you can get to know them as an individual, right? The next thing in your live observations is allowing the players to actually do a lot of team bonding on their own. A lot of times as coaches, sometimes we can overdo the team bonding stuff, right? Like we can start planning everything, doing everything, telling people where to go. And we could overdo it. And we know basketball season is a long time, right? You're talking about 6 months, 7 months, and you with the same people over and over every day, right? But when they feel like they have a little control and they can start to organize things, and you can see them in the things that they organize, and you want to be taking notes, right? It's as easy as get a running document on your phone, or if you use Excel or Microsoft, you can get it on there. If you use Google, get your Google Drive and share it so all your staff members can see, so everybody's on the same page and they know what was talked about and they know what's going on with each player. So you want to make sure that you're getting those evaluations and getting all of that data from the observations in the second step, right? And then the third step, right? And this is step 3. This is the last step in this teaching. You want to take action, right? You want to really take action. It's not good enough for us to get all of this information, know what's going on with our players, know what's going on with our staff members, but then we don't do anything about it, right? Like, you're only getting all of this information and the observations so you can change, so you can adjust your style. See, it's not about just the players getting better in their game. See, this is you raising your game as a coach, or this is us, because I'm doing the same thing, right? We're not perfect. Everybody's working through it together. But this is us raising our games as coaches, as leaders. And I believe when our players see that we're willing to listen to them, when we're willing to make adjustments for them, when we're willing to change our own ways, when we're willing to apologize for things that we said, like when we're willing to do things for them, I believe that they understand that we actually care for them. And that's where we build the trust, right? And when we build the trust, that's what helps us to win more games and change lives, right? So I just want to share this teaching with you because I feel like, right? Let me even clear that up. I don't feel like, I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen. I've been on coaching staffs where we might have had average players, but I mean, we went to NCAA conference championships. We went to Sweet 16s. We went to, all of these different levels of events just because our kids really wanted to play together, right? And they really wanted to be on the team and they really wanted to be around each other. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like each other all the time. That never happens. But it does mean that everybody's willing to do their job and work together for the benefit of the entire team. So I challenge you today, take those 3 steps, man. Put them into action. Let me know how they worked out for you. And as always, trust the grind. Let's get it.